What is a blue collar job? A blue collar job is a job that usually they do not go to college for, so they don't require a degree at all. They come out of high school and they don't have enough money to go to college, so they go to vocational school to learn how to do these jobs. They get paid hourly and they involve manual labor instead of like office work. They don't require a lot of skill, so trade school is very short and cheap.
Well, I'm here to talk about the pros of blue collar jobs. You might be thinking, well, what are the pros of blue collar jobs? It's harder work and it's less pay. Well, there are a few. And to start with education, you pay a lot less for a trade school than a bachelor's program. You pay roughly $30,000 for a trade school. A bachelor is anywhere to 100,000 to 150,000, which is absurd, especially if you come from a blue collar background, which you probably can't afford that. And it works out a lot better, well, in that situation. Statistically, for a bachelor's program, there are roughly 40% dropouts, and you can't, and especially if you come on blue collar background, you can't afford that. You have to stay through the end. Thus, trade schools are a much more viable option. You know.
Okay, so cons of blue collar jobs. They are very long hours. And with that being said, long hours leads to physical exhaustion on the body. And then physical exhaustion leads to hazardous work conditions, which means you're more prone to injury on the job. Also, you will face social prejudice because people look down upon you because you did not get a college degree. Now, there are very few jobs on the market due to automation and globalization. But going back to the social prejudice part, people look down on you because they think you're not smart enough because you didn't go to college. You didn't do this, and they did, so they think they're better than you. Blue collar jobs versus automation. Some people believe that technology is destroying jobs faster than it's creating them. Now, toll booths. They're starting to use drones to take pictures of your license plate and just sending you a bill to your house. That eliminates the whole booth. So that eliminates the jobs that the people work in to take your money and give you change. And now most of the cars on the market are made by machines. So if a person could make 10 cars a day, the machine could make 20. And it's cheaper, more efficient, and more accurate than what the people could do. And then the phone operators. How many phone calls do you get that aren't even people just taking surveys? That used to be a person's job, but now they found an easier way to just let a robot do it.
I'm here to talk about automation. Now, there are some benefits to automation, and there definitely are some problems with automation. Now, a big benefit of automation is that fact that you can produce products at a much faster rate and with much more accuracy, which is fantastic for the corporation. You can just mass produce products, and of course, it's beneficial. Another pro is that a lot less money is spent. Considering you have to pay workers a set wage, you can purely just pay for the product once. The set value for machine, it could be $50,000 or whatever, but lifetime it should be cheaper than the overall wages of all the workers. But however, there are some negatives, there are some cons of automation, and this one is reduced for human capital, less people you're hiring as a result. The taxes for the government also hurt because the if you employ people, those people are paying tax to the government. Unfortunately, that is not the case in this situation. And automation is nothing that happens overnight. It will take some time, which could be problematic for business. That converting from people to machines could take some time and could be somewhat problematic. Something that's really been demonized over the past election cycle has been globalization. It's been a prime target, and rightfully so. it makes sense for blue collar workers to be especially angry towards globalization, even though it is not the overwhelming problem that we'll discuss later. But there definitely are drawbacks to globalization. It is true that companies to cut costs will move to other countries to take advantage of cheaper labor. That's just a matter of fact. Um, Companies will move their headquarters to other countries to take advantage of tax havens. If let's say they move their capital to other their headquarters to a country like country like Sweden, they will have massive tax breaks as a result instead of having in the U.S. Um, Obviously, globalization affects the manufacturing sector. That's the entirety of the problem we're facing. And factory jobs are demolished as a result, which was obvious.
So, pros and cons of globalization. The pros is the competition between the countries is supposed to drive the price down so it is more reasonable for the consumers to buy. Another pro can be it gives chances to poorer countries to build their economy and become technology advanced. Also, the fact that when transnational companies build their plants in different countries, it opens jobs for those people in that country. And now on to the cons. Some of the cons can be it makes the rich richer while making the poor poorer. With that being said, it has a negative impact on the people who need it the most. So the poorer people need to get money, but they can't. So they just get poorer while the rich, they get the jobs and they just keep getting richer and richer, which keeps expanding the gap. The jobs are lost and transferred to lower costing countries because producers want to make the most for as little as they can get it. With that being said, instead of being instead of making it in the United States and paying a worker minimum wage, they'll transfer it to a lower costing country in Europe or something and pay the person minimal of what they're paying the United States worker. Another con can be the exploitation of labor. So, children and prisoners, when these jobs are moved to lower costing countries, they are being made to work in inhuman conditions, long hours, and unsafe working conditions.
Now the question is now, which has hurt blue collars more, automation or globalization? In our humble opinion, I think it's safe to say automation is the true devil in this situation. Um, as technology gets cheap, automation will become more prevalent. Technology get cheaper and it will be more widely available. And we have a statistic. Between 2000 and 2014, the U.S. has lost 5 million active manufacturing jobs. The vast majority have been because of automation, and that makes sense that you know machines have risen over the past years. Look how much technology has evolved in the past 10, 14 years. It's fantastic. And we've also gotten to a point in our economy where fact jobs are disappearing because our economy has evolved past fact jobs. We're now a purely consuming economy. And to go back to fact jobs would be de-evolution, which wouldn't work out for our economy.